What's good, y'all? It's your boy Matt, your favorite CEO, fitness model, and content creator. Listen, man, the mouth of God is the mind of man. The mouth of God is the mind of man. I need you to understand that the thoughts that you think every single day for the past 10, 15, 20 years is the reason why you're living the current reality that you're living in. I made multiple videos on how your thoughts create your reality, but you need to understand that when you constantly are thinking these thoughts, that's the reality that you bring into fruition in your life, right? You have to combine the prayer, right, with the positive thoughts and the belief that these things will unfold eventually and that you are already that individual. Because most people spent their entire life thinking negative thoughts, thinking negative thoughts, thinking negative thoughts, but taking action, and they wondered why things didn't go good in their life. It's because of the thought patterns. When I was skinny, and I had acne all over my face, and I wasn't confident, and I didn't love me, that was because of because of my habits and because of my thought patterns. I didn't have the right type of mindset. I didn't have the good habits. I wasn't praying. But when I started praying, I started changing my diet, and I started thinking positively. Then I brought everything together, and then my life improved. If you look at me now compared to who I was before, even the people that know me personally, my voice, my aura, my energy, the way I carry myself, the way I speak, the way I articulate is a lot different. Like the person I am now, 23 years young, your boy, compared to who I was at 17 when I was in high school, I'm a completely different person. Even the people that know me that's watching my videos, there's a lot of guys I went to high school with, I watch my content, shout out to you. They know. You know what I'm saying? They have a heightened level of respect for me now compared to when I was 14, 15, 16 years old, because they see me elevate, they see me grow. I don't talk about it, I just do. I make it happen, I take action. You know what I mean? Sometimes I find myself procrastinating, I gotta check myself, but I'm out here making it happen because I had to change my thought patterns, because I had to understand that the mouth of God is the mind of man. The thoughts that I was thinking at the time were not in alignment with my best self, so I had to change my thought patterns. And once I started changing my thought patterns, my reality started to improve. And even now, I catch myself thinking negatively, but I gotta check myself and take inventory. Nah, I can't think like that. That's the old me. Right? Yes, negative thoughts from time to time will slip in your mind. You're a human being. I'm not saying you're always going to be a positive, energetic individual, but 99% of the time you have to, think positive thoughts, right? It's going to be times where you're down. It's going to be times where your mood is not the best. So make sure you're doing things that's going to elevate your mood. It's going to boost your mood. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to raise your vibration. Rather than going around here and thinking negatively and, oh my God, thinking the worst out of, situation. Like, no, like if you're dealing with something right now, be optimistic about it. Think positively about it. Like, bro, what is a way that I can get out of this? Right? Rather than seeing yourself as a prisoner and seeing yourself trapped. If you keep visualizing and seeing yourself as trapped and there's no other option to make something happen, then that's what's going to keep happening to you. Most people stay in the same financial position for 20, 30, 40 years. They stay broke. They stay having no money in their bank account. They stay having no investments. And then they complain about finances. It's because of what? Your thought patterns. And your thought patterns also lead to what? Your habits and the actions that you take. If I'm thinking like a broke person, I'm going to take the actions of a broke person, right? You can't have, rich habits, but a broke mindset. It doesn't work like that, because you're not going to attract more wealth into your life. And that's what I learned by reading a lot of these different financial books, even when it comes to health and wellness. Right? You got to change your mindset, bro. Everything starts in here. All these billion-dollar companies that you see started in someone's mind. The very concept of you being born, bro, that's something that was thought about. You know what I mean? The car that you drive, the camera that I'm recording this from, this started in someone's mind, bro. There was a point in time, this motherfucking camera did not exist. The whole concept of content creation didn't exist 40, 50 years ago. You know what I mean? So I need you to understand that the mouth of God is the mind of man. You can bring into fruition anything that you think about. So you have to watch the thoughts that you're thinking. You have to be strict with the thoughts that you think. And if you find yourself thinking a little bit too negative, take a step back and take inventory. Why am I thinking these thoughts? Right? What can I do right now to put me in a positive state where I think positively about this? Right? Start asking yourself different questions like, yo, how can I turn this around and make this better? Rather than thinking about and focusing only on the problem, like, oh yeah, well, this can't be done. Oh man, oh my God. Like, nah, like you're not a victim, bro. Stop making yourself a victim. Stop being a prisoner in your own mind. Because when you're a prisoner in your own mind, you create, more of a negative reality for yourself. The mouth of God is the mind of man. Whatever you want to will into existence, whatever you want to will into your reality, you have the ability to do that. God has given you that ability. It's called the law of attraction. What you think about, you become. You know what I'm saying? What you think about on a habitual basis, you will become. If you're thinking in terms of being broke and poor and this and that, and you keep affirming these things to yourself, I'm poor, saying that to yourself, you know, internally in your mind, but verbally, my nigga, like you're gonna continue to attract it into your life. I hear people in my family saying, oh yeah, I ain't got no money, I'm poor. I'm like, yo bro, stop saying that shit. Stop talking like that. Stop playing like that. That's not funny. I don't find jokes like that funny. That's not fucking funny to me, because your subconscious doesn't know that you're a comedian. Your subconscious doesn't know that you're joking. So you cannot affirm and say these things to yourself, even as a joke, because your subconscious is really going to start to believe that you are poor, that you are broke, that you are unhealthy, that you're unworthy. That's why I don't talk shit to myself, even as a joke. I don't call myself, you know, broke. I don't call myself, you know, uneducated. I don't say none of it. I speak life into me. So you have to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Whether you believe in Christ, whether you believe in Buddha, whatever you believe in Allah, it does not matter. You have to speak life into yourself, because the God that you believe in believes in you. The God that you believe in created you for a bigger and better, to live a bigger and better reality, for a bigger purpose on this earth. So you have to believe in you and see yourself the way that God sees you. You know what I'm saying? As divine, as capable of doing anything. All things are possible with God. Without God, nothing is possible. But with God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. And you have to believe that. You have to have that unwavering conviction within yourself that you can do anything you put your mind to. Right? Everything starts in the mind, bro. The business that you want to start, started in your mind. You know, these multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar companies started in someone's mind. You know what I'm saying? You being able to transform your life and elevate your family to the next level and elevating your finances, that starts in your mind. You have to first think about it and then create a plan and put it into action. But if you're thinking in the wrong direction, you're going to attract more things that's in that wrong direction. When you start thinking positively, everything that's good, right? Then those good opportunities, those blessings, and everything that's in alignment with what you want out of life is going to start coming to you. You know what I mean? And you got to also make sure you're paying attention to the type of actions that you're taking and the type of opportunities that you're taking on. There might be certain things in your life that seem like opportunities for you to elevate, but sometimes those are things that are taking you away from where you need to go. You know what I mean? That's why you got to trust your intuition. You got to pay attention. You know what I mean? So listen, man, the mouth of God is the mind of man. Start thinking positively. Start changing your thought patterns. Stop hanging around negative ass people who think negatively and who are just negative. Right? Stop having conversations with family members that are fucking negative. If you have to take a break from them, so be it. I don't have certain conversations with certain family members, with certain people, because they're too negative. They always want to talk about finances from a negative point of view. They always want to talk about health and wellness from a negative point of view. And when you hang around those people a lot, you start to adopt their thought patterns. That's why I'm very strict with who I hang around with, who I work out with, who I'm talking to, who I'm conversing with. Like, I need you to understand that you got to be strict with that shit, bro. You got to be really, really strict. Because like I said, this is a home right here. Your brain, your mind, that's your mental home. You live in this shit all day. So imagine being around someone who's negative. They always talking about, oh yeah, I can't afford this. I'm poor, I'm this and that, I'm unhealthy, oh my God, this and that. Why me? Victim, victim, victim. Right? You're going to start to adopt those thought patterns. You're going to start to live in that energy of that other individual, and then you're going to start attracting those things into your life as well. Cut them off. Get away from them. Start thinking positively. Start hanging around more positive people who think positively. That's what you have to do. I don't surround myself with negative people who fucking complain. People complain about finances for 30, 40, 50 fucking years, rather than changing their thought patterns, because they don't have the proper education. That if they just change this little, they just tweak it, the way that they think about money, the way that they view the world, their life would improve drastically. You know what I mean? So people don't understand the power of their own mind. They don't understand the power of the tongue. People like thinking negatively all the time, and then they wonder why their life ain't going good. Oh, I tried this, I tried that. But they're talking about strictly action. I tried to do this. I tried to start this business. I tried to start that business. I tried investing, but it didn't work. But at the same time, you got to understand, these people were doing the same exact things that you were doing right now. But what's the difference between you and that person? The mindset. The mindset. He tried what I tried and he succeeded at it. How? I tried the same thing. I did the same exact thing he did, but I didn't succeed because of your fucking mindset. Because of the mind. That person had an unwavering conviction within themselves that God will help them and guide them in the right direction to make it happen. You had a victim mentality and a scared mentality. It can't be done. It can't be done. It can't be done. You just stamped yourself. Can't be done. You affirmed it. Can't be done. I'm not worthy. I'm not capable. Can't think like that. If you keep thinking that you're not worthy and that you're not capable of creating a bigger and better reality with your finances, with your health, with your family, then you're never going to. But when you start changing that mindset, start elevating that mindset, you start thinking more positively, you will attract a bigger and better reality. I promise you that. That's a fact. I'm living a completely different reality right now than I was 3 years ago because of what? My mindset, and because of my belief in God, and because of my belief in myself. You know what I mean? Change your mindset, bro. Your mindset is the mouth of God, bro. The mouth of God is the mind of man. Right? What man thinks, he becomes. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. What you think about, you're going to become. You keep thinking negatively. You keep thinking in terms of poverty. You keep having a poverty consciousness, and you keep thinking in the wrong direction. You're going to attract things completely in the wrong direction. People don't understand that. You can pray as much as you want, but if you're praying with a negative mindset, you're praying with negative intentions, you're praying with low vibrational energy, nothing's going to go good for you. When you start changing your mindset and you go into your prayer and meditation and you start praying to God with positive intentions to improve in a positive mindset, then you start attracting it. You got to shift your energy first. You got to shift your consciousness. You got to change your mindset. Everything starts in the mind. I'm telling you this now. You can take as much action as you want. You can start every fucking business in the world. But the reason why these people that you see that are the same age as you making more money than you is because they have a different mindset than you. You're the same exact person. He's no better than you. He's no smarter than you. She's not that much smarter than you. They're just like you. The only difference is the mindset that they have. You started doing business at the same time as this other individual, but the reason why they became more successful than you at a faster rate is because they had a different mindset. They wanted it more. They had more belief and conviction in themselves and in God that they would be able to make it happen. That's why they're more successful than you. So rather than looking at them from a place of envy, study them. Educate yourself on what are they doing that I'm not. I'm doing everything that they're doing in terms of the physical, but internal. How do they think? What are their habits? What's their mindset like? Because when you study the mindset of people who are rich and people who are poor, they have different mindsets. That's why they live two different realities financially. Someone who's rich doesn't think like somebody who's poor, because if they did, they would be just like poor people. Because rich people who are wealthy, who created their own wealth, understand what it is to be poor and to not have money, because they lived that reality once. But when they started shifting their mindset, they started to attract what? More wealth. People who come from the bottom, who've built $1 million and $1 billion empires, bro, these people understand what it is to be poor. They get it. I'm not talking about for the people who grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth. I'm talking about for the people who came from the fucking bottom and made something out of themselves. That's the, certain athletes, all the athletes, right? Actors, actresses, musicians. These people, not all of them, a lot of them came from the bottom, but built their way up and they made it happen. But like I said, the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person, mindset. The difference between a rich person, poor person, mindset. A rich person has a wealthy consciousness. A poor person has a poor person consciousness. They think completely different about money. That's why they live in two different realities when it comes to their finances. Somebody who's in shape and somebody who's not in shape live two different realities. You know what I mean? Because of what? Their mindset. I'm health conscious. That's why people who are the same age as me, who work out as much as me, don't look like me, because they have different habits than me. I have better habits than them. I take care of my health. I'm strict with what I put in my fucking body. That's why I look better and I also feel better. That's not to compare me to them. It's a fact. Because a lot of them come up to me, ask me for advice. Bro, I'm the same age as you. I'm older than you. I've been training longer than you. How you look like that and I don't? What you on? They start accusing niggas. Oh, you on this, you on that. No, I have better habits. I'm in better shape than you, and you've been training longer than me, because you still eat Chick-fil-A after every workout. You still go to McDonald's. You still are binge watching TV. You still eating cookies and cakes all day. I don't. I do that once a week. You know what I mean? The discipline, the mindset is different. My mindset is, I'm gonna lock in 6 weeks. I'm gonna reward myself on Sundays for a cheat meal. After that, it's back to work. Some of you reward yourself every day and you ain't put in no pain. You know what I mean? So Understand that the mouth of God is the mind of man. Lock down that mindset. Everything starts in the mind. If you want to create a better reality for yourself, if you want to elevate your physique, your finances, your relationship with different people, your woman, your spouse, whatever it may be, you have to change your mindset first. The people who are successful, like I said, and people who are unsuccessful think completely different. People who are rich and people who are not rich think completely different. That's why I don't take financial advice from people who are not good with finances. Whether it's my family, whether it's people that I know at the gym, I don't take financial advice from people who are not financially fit to give me that advice. I don't. They be trying to give me advice. Oh yeah, do this, do that. Okay, cool, but you ain't got no money in your account. You're not really good with money. So I'm gonna just say okay, but I'm not gonna accept it. You know what I mean? Even people who are not in shape, I got people telling me, yo, you're young, bro, eat whatever you want. No, fuck that. I'm not eating whatever I want. I'm locking down this diet because my habits are gonna carry on for the rest of my life. And these are the same habits that I have that are gonna be carried on to my children, bro. Like, this is not a fucking game. I'm 23 years young, but I'm not gonna eat whatever I want because I'm locked in. You can do whatever you want. You can eat and you can eat Cheetos and cookies and cakes every day for the next 10, 15 years. Let's see how that goes. Because these are the same people that cry, oh, I'm 35, bro, I already got arthritis. I ain't trying to hear that shit. The reason why you got arthritis and your joints is inflamed is because you've been eating bullshit for the past 20 years. So don't come to me trying to tell me, oh yeah, eat whatever you want because you're young, you'll burn it off anyway. Nah, I'm gonna develop good habits at a young age. And that's why, then again, like I said, they've been training 10, 15 years, but I'm younger than them by 10, 15 years, and I look better than them because of the mindset. Their mindset is, oh yeah, I'm training, I'm gonna burn it off anyway, I'm gonna eat whatever I want. That's why they still look like shit and they still feel like shit. I feel good and I look good. Why? Because I have a different mindset. My mindset is I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna train, and then once a week, I'll treat myself to some sweets, to some fast food, because I'm human. And then it's back to work. Then it's back to doing the cardio. Then it's back to grinding. But yo, it's raining out here. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I love y'all. Your boy, Matt Rodriguez. Listen, man, the mouth of God is the mind of man, baby. Your boy.